at Gillette Stadium. Ashland is the Super Bowl champion of Division 6 and the winner of the Aganis Trophy.
Father-son broadcast combination.
Yeah.
Chase, good to have you along this afternoon.
Yeah.
What do we know about the Norton Lancers?
Well, first of all, it's good to be here. Thank you. We just know that Norton's record, they're, I believe, 3-4-2 with their most recent, 3-4-1, sorry. Their most recent tie coming in yesterday's game against Ashland, while Ashland's last 2 ties have been in their past 2 games.
Okay, so the Clockers clocking in today at 3-4-2, will win today in the penultimate game, of course, the final game of the season. Win today will bring them to 500 for the year.
Yep.
So the Clockers are going to be playing a little short-handed today. We found out just before game time they will be missing Maddie English, Elaine Jones. I'm sorry, Maddie English is playing today. Elaine Jones is out, Katie Klepper, Sophia Shepard, and Maddie Marchetti. So a little short-handed on both sides of the ball, but an opportunity for some of the underclassmen to get some minutes today here in the final game of the season. We're going to be underway here momentarily. Norton will start with the ball at midfield. And that'll be number 19, Brenna Hickey, starting things off for the Lancers.
Immediately goes backwards, then back to the side. Backwards again. They're trying the short pass game. Ashland quickly intercepts that. That was Katie English stepping up, but now they're starting to gain some headway.
Okay, the Lancers moving the ball along the near sideline. And again, a lot of these triangle short passes, as you mentioned, Chase, but turned over here, the Clockers have it. As Emma Arsenault had made a nice defensive play in getting the ball up the field, but just a little too far for Maddie English.
Yep, led her over the wrong shoulder. You don't see it as often in soccer as you do in some other sports, but out of bounds at around the 15-yard line. Make that the 20.
So Brianna Cahoon inbounding here at the kick-in for the Lancers. Got a little bit of tie-up here. It's going to go Clocker ball. Some good aggressive forechecking there by Maddie English. So here's Maddie Marchetti be working in combination with Kirsten Oglesby on the near sideline.
Oglesby touches it from Marchetti. She's got room to work. Looks for the pass and then shot on goal because of the missed kick. And it results in a save by the Norton goalkeeper, who we still do not have a name for.
No goalie listed on the Norton roster today, so your guess is as good as ours. If you happen to know and you're watching today, go ahead and post the comments on here on Facebook. We'll pick it up a little bit later today.
Yeah.
But it was a really good opportunity, early on here for the Clockers, something we haven't seen in our games, Chase, so far this season.
Definitely. Offensive production has been a struggle for the Clockers this year, but already got it to the Norton side of the field early on. Nice for some momentum, the big Mo.
But I like that shot on goal by Marchetti, and I couldn't see who it was, but it looked like either going for a tip or at least screening the goalie as the ball came in on net. The goalie was able to make the save, and now we'll pick up live action here as the Clockers get the ball on the turnover. And again, it'll be a combination of Marchetti and Oglesby.
Yep. Looks like they're going to leave plenty of room for Marchetti to work a little bit of pressure. She just passes it off. That looks like it's the number 11. That was Catherine Carter. Looking up the far sideline for
that was Julia
Schreiber.
Yep.
Yeah, leads her just a bit too far. And once again, Norton will take over at around, once again, right around that 20-yard line.
Okay, so they're going to start play here on the far sideline. About 17 and a half to go here in the first quarter. Just a reminder, of course, folks, you haven't been here with us during the season due to COVID restrictions. Things are a little different this season. We're playing quarters instead of halves. Give the players mask breaks. And no throw-ins, no headers. Little collision there by 2 Norton players results in the turnover, and the Clockers will inbound here right around midfield on the far sideline.
Bit of a miscommunication goes Ashland's way. It looks like they're going to be...
That was combination with Alexa Robinson and Katie Carter.
Deep pass down the field. It's
a foot race.
Yeah. I didn't think the goalie was able to pick that one up after it was kicked by a Norton defender. But either I'm wrong or the refs missed it.
I didn't say. I thought that was a shot on goal, so.
Yeah.
So Norton goalie boots it away out to the middle of the field where it's picked up by Norton players. Got a whistle there on the play. I guess Clockers a little too aggressive. Ball gets turned right over to Norton with a free kick.
Yeah. It's not often you see a holding penalty in a soccer game.
So Norton elects to kick downfield. Now they're on the Ashland side of the field, trying to work it on the near sideline, intercepted by the Clockers. And a clearing attempt is thwarted. Oglesby tracking it down deep in her far corner, and she'll just kick it out of bounds.
It looks like that's off the Norton defender.
That's a mental mistake by Norton, and the Clockers catch a break, and Marchetti will be able to inbounds on her own here, deep in her own end on the near sideline.
It's one of those moments where you don't want to be as competitive as you usually want to. I mean, it would have been much better if it had gone off. It would have been much better for Norton if it had gone off.
Oh, yeah.
Oglesby.
I mean, clearly Oglesby was just planning to kick that one out of bounds, and the Norton offensive player just got a little too aggressive trying to get to the ball.
Yep.
So here we go, Oglesby and Marchetti again. Marchetti with a long kick down the near sideline, looking for English. Can't quite connect, but the ball trickles further and deeper into the Norton zone, and they'll elect to just kick back to their goalie, who boots it almost turned right over to English. That would be Katie English.
There's Ellie Laughlin looking for
She's got Arsenault.
Arsenault.
Here's a centering pass, a little too far for Caitlin Merson, who gets tripped up, and we get the whistle.
No. I think she might have done a little bit of acting there, but, you know, gets the whistle, and it'll be a kick for Ashland.
It looked like Norton's Mackenzie Dennett certainly thought there was some acting involved there. But all for naught, I should say, as Maddie English with a free kick here. She puts it right in on net, curving, not handled cleanly, but on the second try, the Norton goalie is equal to the task, keeping Ashland off the scoreboard. We're still deadlocked here with about 14.5 to go in the first quarter.
It's a high booming kick, and it looked like it was the two shortest players on either team battling for it.
It appeared that both of them were trying to head the ball, which of course you're not allowed to do this year, but
yeah.
it's really instinctual. I mean, you practice this your whole life coming up through the youth game.
It's an easy rule to forget.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Norton looking for the center pass, but Merson was there. And now Julia Schreiber brings it up the far sideline. Nice pass, but it's deflected, and Schreiber keeps it in. Oh, yeah, that's going to get a whistle.
Absolutely. So Ashland continuing to try to feed Maddie English. Haven't been successful just yet, but English pretty much gets tackled there on that last play, draws the easy whistle, and she'll have a free kick out at the 25-yard line on the football field. She looked a little shaken up immediately after the play, but she seems okay now, and she'll be the one putting it on net here. A long attempt off the foot of Merson, I believe. Nope.
That was Katie English.
Katie English. And Norton comes away with it. They're flying at midfield now as the Ashland defenders scramble to get back.
Chased down by Katie English, and that's Marchetti kicking it up the field. And now Arsenault fighting for it and gains possession, looking for Katie English on the far side.
She is 1-on-2. She beats the first one in a foot race now down the far sideline. And again, Norton just kicking it back to their goalie. Chase, I got to say,
it's a handball.
Yeah, again, that was instinctual. I was going to say before that, I think that's just some good coaching, right? This is the first time I'm really seeing a team that is actively, when they feel the least bit of pressure defensively on that last line defense, that they have no problem kicking back to the goalie and letting the goalie clear it out for them.
She's got a big leg too, which is definitely an up factor for when they do that, which is probably a big reason why they do it.
Speaking of big legs, here's a shot on goal from deep.
It's an easy save.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It is a shot on goal, though, so, you know, they've struggled with that in our games this season. It's nice to see them getting a few in the first quarter so far here today.
Okay, Robinson with the ball, plays it to English.
Switches directions, finds Merson, sorry. Now Laughlin's going up the field looking for Schreiber in the corner, but it's just a bit too far.
We'll have a goalie kick here. So the clock is ticking down to about 12 minutes to go here in the first quarter. No score between your Ashland Clockers and the Norton Lancers. Final game of the season on a somewhat chilly New England seasonal. This is the kind of weather you expect. I mean, last Sunday, what did we have? About 75, 77 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
So about half that here today. But more in line with what you would expect as we get into mid-November here. This ball is kicked out of bounds by Norton. And the Clockers will take over here. So again, the combination of Oglesby and Marchetti
Yeah,
looking to get the big boot here from Maddie.
Knew that kick was ill-fated as soon as it came that close to the sideline. You're never supposed to kick it that close to the sideline as a goalie. A little more pressure from Norton off the kick-in.
There's another attempted header by Norton. That was Carolyn Turcott, one of the co-captains, as that ball sailed over her head and the Norton goalie corralled it.
I have to imagine if the coaches are seeing the same stuff that we're seeing, that there will be talks and reminders of the rule at half.
So Norton feeds one far down now, approaching the far sideline. Alexa Robinson with it as she just boots it out of bounds. It'll be Norton ball. This is about as deep as they've gotten into the Ashland end so far today. So while we have a quick break in the action, just want to say a quick thank you to our sponsors, Townhouse Pizza and Roast Beef, Healthcare Technologies, Techniplex, and Rose's Automotive.
Well, usually we have a quarantine-blocked crowd here today. Not the case for the high school students who are gathered behind us on the hill. Apparently,
I would say we're pretty close to a COVID sellout here today at Ashland High School. Of course, capping it at 40 spectators, but outside the stadium, of course, we have plenty of youth spectators on the fence above the field. So here's Ashland trying to work it down the far sideline, I should say. That's Maddie English on her horse. Gets ridden off the ball, and here's a foot race to a loose ball, and just getting it out of the way is the Norton goalie. I believe she kicked it out of the arena.
Didn't seem to matter where she kicked it. She just wanted it away from the goal.
That turned into a surprisingly dangerous play for Norton as English just flew down the sideline and was closing the distance quickly. And that goalie, that's the only option she had was just to boot it quickly and as hard out of bounds.
Physical play, no call.
I'm surprised no call there as Emma Arsenault collides with the goalie.
Yeah.
No call as the play continues. It goes out of bounds here on the near sideline, and this will be Maddie, the big leg again, looking to put something together for the Clockers.
Pressure again from Norton, gets it off, but it's turned quickly over by Norton. Ashland's defense is playing way up. Not something I would have expected from them. Tries to put a move on Oglesby, and she just kicks it out of bounds. Looks like Norton's going to take over right around the 35-yard line, 36.
Okay, so they quickly inbound, trying to put it further down the near sideline, still in control as Allie Laughlin trips over the ball, but is able to recover and get it out of the way, but Norton takes over. Nice takeaway there.
Clean, too.
By Merson, I believe.
Yep.
And now she has the ball, looking for some help, stops, dishes off to Katie English.
It's a great play.
Yeah, good passing, looking for an opening, can't get it past that first line of defense, however. Now the ball gets pushed further into the offensive zone, but it'll be picked up by the Norton goalie.
Yep. That ball was bouncing around there for a little while. There's some nice passing. Emma Arsenault, good control, but loses it momentarily, and Norton takes advantage. Now it's Laughlin stepping up, looking for Merson, but she loses it, and now Oglesby's going to have to make a play on the ball, and now it's Katie English. So nice passing by Norton, and
getting a little physical there for Allie Laughlin. Ball gets taken away from her and pushed into the Ashland zone. It's a nice dish off by Katie Carter. Over to Robinson. Yeah, that was Alexa.
Julie.
Ashland's still with the ball. Turned over momentarily, but they'll regain control here, and it looks like Carter will just, I thought she was going to put it out of bounds, but actually found Robinson. They're working it on the far sideline.
Julia Schreiber cuts back.
That was a nice cutback.
Yep. Middle of the field, that's Allie Laughlin looking down the field, back for Schreiber.
There's a misplay by the Norton defense. Let's see how they play it. Forcing it even further into their own zone. Good pressure here. This is now Maddie English. And again, those Norton defenders are going to just kick it back to the goalie.
Almost goes out of bounds with it.
Yep.
Norton defender had a little trouble recognizing that.
So Chase, I think, based on their record, we were expecting this to be, not as an aggressive team as an opponent for Ashland today. And so far, the Clockers have been very aggressive. And unlike previous games that you and I have seen, the Clockers are really dictating the pace here, and the ball's spending a lot more time in the Norton defensive zone.
I think one thing we forgot to factor in for that is that this is the last game of the year. This is their time to go all out. This is the one that they want to remember.
Sure. Of course, playing devil's advocate, you can make that point for both teams. Final game of the season for both.
Well, I think they're both being aggressive. We didn't. It's just Ashland is being better with their aggression. so
I'm
far.
again a little surprised. I mean, they are shorthanded. A lot of the a handful of their regulars are not playing today, and so I would have expected them to be a little bit more conservative with players that haven't had as many minutes this season. But so far, they've been able to take advantage of Norton, who've been a little hesitant, it seems, on both sides of the ball.
Once again, nice penetration. Good play by, I believe that was Emma Arsenal to try to dish it off to Maddie Carter. I mean, sorry, not Maddie English.
So again, we'll have a combination here this time, Oglesby and Arsenal. I will get their name right sooner or later. Here's what turns to be a shot on goal. I thought the goal actually went over the goal line, but they're not going to call that. And Norton will retain possession as we tick down just under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. There's a high, long kick. Allie Laughlin being aggressive.
Yeah,
she gets
great
the
possession.
ball, beats out the Norton defender. And the ball gets pushed out toward midfield.
Katie
Norton
English
with
for
the ball.
Ashland. Yep.
Yeah.
Putting pressure on. She's chasing her down, outruns her.
Ball gets pushed even deeper into the Ashland zone, kept in bounds. So those quick short passes we were seeing early in the game from the Lancers, Chase, have been noticeably absent for the last, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes.
I think a lot of their passing by itself has been absent for a little while.
Okay, so Allie Laughlin able to clear the zone, not quite able to get it up to Maddie English, and she gets tripped up by Norton's number 15, Mackenzie Dennett.
It looks like Dennett was looking for, she didn't think that was a foul, but to the clear, it was pretty clear to the rest of us.
Oh, yeah. So here's Maddie booting one long into the Norton zone. She finds Caitlin Merson.
And that's a head ball.
And that one's going to go against Norton, against the Lancers. So now Ashland with a free kick around the football field's 35-yard line. Again, Maddie will take the kick here for the Clockers.
Yep. Definitely going to try to get this one close to goal and see if Ashland can make a play on it. A little too close to goal on that one, though.
Sure. You got to really find a way to split the difference between getting it over that line of defense, but not so deep into the goalie. Just haven't been able to find that balance just yet here this afternoon.
Yeah. Catherine Carter steps up. Allie Laughlin intercepted, looking for Julia Schreiber. Now Norton going up the field. This seems to be their only penetration so far this game, is those long passes up the field.
Okay, Alexa Robinson gets ridden off the ball, and now Norton has a break on the near side. Here's a shot on goal. And Colby Lehman with a big save. She hadn't been called on yet, and again, not normally the starting goalie for the Cloggers, but she's equal to the task. And again, whether no matter how experienced you are, that first shot on goal, that until you get it, you've got the butterflies. And she got tested on that one.
Oh, yeah.
As Norton suddenly found a hole in the Ashland defense.
Yeah, it was some great playing by the Norton offensive players, some nice triangle passes to kind of split that Ashland defense. I believe they were outnumbered, but they were still able to get it inside that goalie's box and get a shot off.
Okay, so the Clockers now with a free kick here. It'll be Maddie taking it for the Clockers. She puts one down toward the far sideline. She finds Merson momentarily. Ball's loose and picked up here by the Lancers, but turned back over momentarily. A little collision there with Katie English. And now Arsenault is able to intercept off a Norton defender, and now this is Katie English again with the ball, trying to work it down the near sideline. I think she drew that call. We can laugh about it, but it's all good. It's all good as long as it goes for Ashland, right? We'll do the Homer broadcast today. So about ticking down now toward 2.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, deadlocked. Your Ashland Clockers against the Norton Lancers.
Yeah, our attitude's going to be a little bit different when Norton gets one of those calls.
Sure. So Norton thwarts an attempt here by the Clockers, and they're going to go into transition over midfield. Maddie English with some late pressure there to force Norton player to pass sooner than she would have liked. And the ball gets kicked out of bounds. It'll stay Lancer ball here. Oh, I stand corrected. It's a turnover. It'll be Ashland ball. Marchetti to kick off. Okay, nice chest stop by Maddie English. She gets it over to Arsenal. Quick pass to Merson. Centering pass she can't quite handle. A little too hot.
She made that pass with the outside of her foot. That was really impressive. Led it perfectly.
Good forechecking here. Let's see, we've got a centering pass in. Another quick pass, shot and over.
Well, wrong type of football. That was a field goal. That was a great play by Ashland. There was some nice passing, and they got an open shot.
Just going to say, Chase, absolutely. It was a great series of passes, quick, accurate, resulted in a nice shot on net. It was just a little too hard, a little too high. So we stayed deadlocked with under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Of course, now at this point, we can no longer rely on the scoreboard here on the field, time being kept by the refs on the field. Merson intercepts a clearing attempt by Norton. Quick give and go. She's got a break, and no call there as she was manhandled right around the 15-yard line. So Norton has the ball now on the far sideline, but turning over to English.
Yeah, the Ashland sideline was not happy at all. There were a few names in particular that I could throw out, but after that last call.
So here's a quick attempt. Oh, a goal there by Norton on the short side. Beats Colby Lima. And Norton jumps on top 1-0. So after a quarter dominated by the Clockers, it's the Lancers who strike first here, 1-0 with under 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, I guess it's really not about how many shots on goal you have, it's what you do with those shots on goal. I think that was only their second, maybe 3 this game, but they got one of them in.
The other axiom, of course, is that you can't score if you don't shoot.
That's also true.
So, Clockers with the ball now. Robinson to Merson.
That's Allie Laughlin.
Allie Laughlin, right. So Laughlin with the ball, looking for some help, feeding English.
She had plenty of space there. They weren't pressuring her at all.
Trying to turn the defender, can't quite make it. Ball goes over the goal line.
It's going to be a corner kick.
Okay.
I have to imagine this quarter's almost over.
Sure. So while we have a quick break in play while they're tracking down that ball, just to remind folks, you can follow Ashland Sports on Twitter with the following 3 handles. @ClockerAD, as an athletic director. Of course, that's Stephen Marks' handle. @ClockerSoccerG, which is the girls' soccer handle. And, of course, you can follow us here at WACA-TV Ashland.
Yep.
So Ashland with the ball here in the corner, looking for a shot on net, blocked by the Norton defense, and that will do it for the first quarter. So tough break for the Clockers. They're down 1-0 after 1, after really physically and just overall dominating the first quarter. Let's see if they can make something happen here in the second quarter. We've got a timeout on the field. We'll take a timeout ourselves. You're watching Ashland Girls Soccer on WACA-TV. And welcome back to WACA-TV coverage of Ashland High School Girls Soccer, live on WACA-TV. I'm Josh Abrams, joined once again by Chase Abrams. Glad to have you with us on a chilly Sunday afternoon here in Clockertown. Your Clockers are down 1-0 after the first quarter of play against the Norton Lancers.
Yep, for those of you just joining us, Ashland did dominate in that first quarter, but Norton is the team that ended up getting the best of them with a goal with about a minute to go at the end of the first quarter.
So as we wait for play to start here for the second quarter, checking in here on the MLS, Major League Soccer, Chase, the playoffs start this Friday night with the Rebs hosting the Montreal Impact at 6:30 at Gillette. First time these two teams have ever met in the playoffs. But back here at Ashland High School, Clockers and Lancers ready to start the second quarter. They'll switch sides as your Clockers in their traditional Clocker blue uniforms with white text and numbers be going from left to right on your screen, and their opponents, the Norton Lancers, in all white with purple text and numerals, going from right to left on your screen. Again, for those of you just joining us, the Clockers a little short-handed today. They are without Elaine Jones, Katie Klepper, Sophia Shepard, Maddie Marchetti, and Erin Gore. So Colby Lima in goal here today for the Clockers as they start off the second quarter down 1-0. The Clockers trying to get a fast start here, but intercepted by the Lancers.
And now they have a fast start on the Ashland side.
So that was Catherine Carter kicking a ball away, but the Lancers have it, and Marchetti now tries to kick it, but her attempting clear will go out of bounds on the far sideline right around midfield where the Lancers will inbound. So I see Anna McGinnis in the game now. I believe it's her first minutes of the day. Katie English takes yet another tumble here and draws the penalty.
Yeah, she's been good at that so far today.
So only a minute gone by here in the second quarter with your Clockers down 1-0 to the Norton Lancers. And this will be Oglesby and Marchetti, a familiar combination here, to kick in for the Clockers. Marchetti boots it down the far sideline past almost everybody. It finds Maddie English. She's looking for, is that Arsenault?
Yeah, looking for a lead pass to Emma Arsenault. Just a little bit too hard on the pass, and that'll go out of bounds at around the 20-yard line. It was a nice idea. Heavily covered. She tried to give her room to run, just gave her a little bit too much room to run, I guess.
Okay, so Norton forces it up the far sideline. They still have the ball. Momentarily stopped there by Oglesby. Now it's Allie Laughlin with the ball.
Nice footwork. Gets the pass off to Arsenault.
McGinnis involved. And the ball gets cleared down the far sideline of the Clockers. And now Marchetti, this is the first time I've seen her do this, kicks it back to Lima. Trying to keep her sharp, keep her in the game.
Oglesby going up the field, gets by a Norton defender, and now Emma Arsenault looking for the pressure, and that'll be Norton ball. It looks like, yep.
Okay, they quickly inbounds here on the far sideline. Kicked out of bounds by Maddie. And it looks like it actually goes off of a Norton player, so it'll be Clocker ball.
Yeah, I think from our view it looked like she kicked it out of bounds, but I think she might have actually accidentally run into the Norton player who actually kicked it out of bounds.
Okay, so I guess that was Emma earlier, because this is Maddie kicking off for the Clockers, trying to find a hole there in the Norton defense. Doesn't quite work out. The ball's on the far sideline and out of bounds off the Lancers. So Clocker ball in the Lancer end. It hasn't spent much, it's early on here in the second quarter, but really the ball's not spent much time in the Norton defensive end so far today. This quarter. Okay,
it looked like it might have been a handball on the Norton defender.
She shields the Clocker player from making a play, and the ball does in fact go off the Clocker player out of bounds. This will be Lancer ball, quickly played by the Norton goalie. And they're going to work it up the field here, up the middle of the field. So I think caught all of us off guard, including the Clocker players. Here's a pass ahead looking for Maddie English, but too far and corralled by the Norton goalie.
Yeah, they kicked through the middle of the players. Didn't just surprise the Clocker players, but I think also the Norton players, as that just went through so many people without being touched.
Okay, so Anna with the ball over to Emma. Ball goes off a Norton head, I thought, but play continues as Katie English tries to get a foot on it, a little too far, and now Norton just kicks it out of bounds, so it'll be Ashland ball right at midfield.
Oglesby inbounding to Marchetti. Quick pressure from Norton, as we've seen so far. Marchetti uses it to her advantage and gets tripped up, but no call, and Norton takes over.
So suddenly, I probably see this on screen, the sun has broken out here at Ashland High School.
That's a welcome addition.
It is for us, trying to keep warm on top of the press box, but could prove troublesome for the Norton goalie, because that sun is right in her face now. We'll see, now, of course, as I say it, the sun goes back behind the clouds, so any advantage the Clockers may have had dashed by the overcast here. So Maddie booting away here into the Norton end, but quickly turned over and pressed ahead by the Lancers. An errant pass there, but then not handled correctly by the Norton defender. And now the Clockers have an opportunity here. English with the ball, looking to center, off the defender and out of bounds. We've got a goal kick here for the Clockers, and probably their best offensive opportunity of the quarter.
Yeah, it's a corner kick for the Clockers. That last Norton defender did her best to try to make it go out of bounds. Not at the goal line, but she was unsuccessful. It'll be Julia Schreiber inbounding to Maddie English.
So some great alliteration there, by the way, Chase. Corner kick for the Clockers.
There was some jostling in there. Yeah, definitely some pushing around, and she decided to try to draw that foul. That was definitely a shove
by Mackenzie Dennett, who can't understand why the whistle was blown, but that was clearly a penalty. Here's a shot on goal by English, and an aggressive play by the Norton goalie to jump up, leap and grab that ball away from any potential rebound by the Clockers.
Yeah, in a league with headers, that's a bloody nose caution right there.
So, Anna McGinnis. Oh, that was a nice play to keep it in bounds by the by Norton. Anna McGinnis, I was going to say, had made a nice play there to break things up off of Norton. But Lancers controlling the ball at the moment with an opportunity here as they cross the 20. Might get a shot on goal. Here it is, right on Lima, and she eats it up for an easy save. So still 1-0 Lancers as Lima boots it out to Julia Schreiber, who tries to control it. Off to Robinson, who's able to get it up to midfield to English. Ridden off nicely by a Norton defender. And now the ball is booted out across the field. Momentarily controlled there by Katie English, and she does in fact draw the penalty.
I believe that's now 3 or 4 penalties called on Katie English so far, and we're not even halfway through the second half.
Called for Katie English, not on Katie
Called
English.
for Katie English, of course.
So here's a boot by Maddie. It's off a Norton defender, but can't quite connect with Maddie English. And Norton has the ball on the far sideline. Good pressure and ridden off beautifully by Sophia Shepard, who we were told wasn't playing today, but apparently he's in the game.
And that's Abby Robichaud for the Norton. Was looking for there was a foul on a call on the play. She was in shock.
Well, a great defensive play by the Norton player, but not a great defensive play by a next one. And now the Clockers trying to force it, can't quite connect. And now there's a penalty called against Ashland as number 12, Carolyn Turcott, one of the co-captains for Norton, hits the ground. So I must be seeing things, Chase. I thought I saw a 15 earlier there, which would mean Sophia Shepard, but I don't see a 15 on the field now. So clearly I was seeing things earlier, and I misidentified a player. My apologies to our viewing audience. Yeah. As the ball is forced in deep now against the Clockers, and Carter is able to, I thought, clear it, but now Norton has the ball. Norton leaves the ball behind, but able to control momentarily. Turn back over now. This is up to Maddie English. She's all by herself, 1-on-4 right now. Goalie calling for it, gets it, and is going to boot it. Was not a great clean kick. Neither team can really control it. It's bouncing around bodies right now.
Arsenal looking for Maddie English.
That's a great pass. She found English. Left foot, but nothing on it as the ball just rolls into the Norton goalie.
Great control on that sky ball pass from Emma Arsenal to Maddie English, but she wasn't able to do anything with it.
Okay, we're approaching 11 minutes to go in the second quarter with Ashland down 1-0. And here's a play, not a great pass back from
I would have just
Maddie
kicked it out of bounds
to
there.
Colby Lima. Well, she had her back to the play. She knew she had a defender on top of her, but she didn't want to kick it too hard to Colby, who, again, doesn't have a ton of experience in goal. It worked out in the end. It was a little bit of a heart attack, but it worked out. No goal scored. Ball goes out of bounds against Ashland. So Norton will inbound here on the far sideline. We saw a slew of substitutions by Norton.
It might have been their first big group substitution of the game.
Mm-hmm. So that's Brooke Kulaga, who's just checked in here for the Clockers, making a nice defensive play, forcing it out of bounds and making Norton restart here on the far sideline as we're now under 10.5 to go in the first half.
Some quick passes that really just end up with the ball at the feet of an Ashland defender, but
I think that Norton player just passed the ball with her shoulder. It's a nice pass by English.
Some great communication from Ashland in this game. They try to look for Maddie English on the right side again. Can't find her.
Okay, Robinson passes to Schreiber. Julie is running up the near sideline here, looking for English. She's got her.
Might have been a handball on Maddie English, no call.
Okay, Robinson follows up. Another play off the shoulder here. Here's a long shot on goal by English, but it sails high and wide over the net.
Yep, shows off the leg strength, but can't do anything with it.
Okay, so a nice set of passes that really set that up, and staying aggressive, by the clockers, Robinson, Schreiber, and English. See if they can figure out a way to connect here and actually put one in. Chase, before the game and off camera, you had mentioned you're expecting a low-scoring game, and we've got it so far. 1-0 Norton with 9 minutes to go in the first half. Ball goes out of bounds on Clockers.
Katie English.
Okay, so Norton will inbound on the far sideline in their defensive zone.
Looked like it went off the head of Katie English, but once again, no call. And now there is one.
Okay, we've got a whistle on the far sideline. Still going to be Norton ball, and we'll take a moment here to once again thank our sponsors for today's game: Townhouse Pizza and Roast Beef, Healthcare Technologies, Techniplex, and Rose's Automotive. Also want to remind folks that if you're not a Clocker Club member yet, it's not too late to join. Membership start at just $25 and help support our student athletes, coaches, and athletic programs. You can learn more at clockerclub.org. That's clockerclub.org. So back to live action here in Ashland, and the Clockers inbound. Good scoring opportunity here as Merson had a foot on it momentarily, not able to put one on net, and Robinson will try to corral it here around the 40. Trying to get it back to her teammates, and this is Marchetti trying to control now. Norton has the ball. Oh, Carter fans on one. Robinson able to get it out to Schreiber. Schreiber on the near sideline and gets ridden off the ball by a Norton defender. Ball's loose now. That's
Allie Laughlin. Looking
She's
for Maddie English.
Looking for English. She's got an opportunity here. Here's a shot on goal, and hand save and knocked out of bounds by the Norton goalie. Great opportunity. That one was on net, and the Norton goalie had to make a quick save to keep that one out of the net.
The spin on that was crazy. It went off Maddie English's leg. It hit a Norton defender, and then it hit the Norton goalie's arm, and then it hit the post and went away.
Huh. So what I thought was going to be a corner kick is now goalie kick for Norton.
How's that a goal kick?
You got me. So Ashland pressing once again, and the Norton goalie calls off her defender. Going to take the ball herself and going to boot away here as we tick down under 7 minutes to go in the first half.
Great control. That's Caitlin Merson, I believe. Draws the foul at the 25.
And I think we have another incredulous Norton player.
I was seeing that too.
It's like they can't believe they're getting these whistles called against us. It's never happened before.
Yeah, that's Mackenzie Dennett, who we saw with her hands on her head walking around the 10-yard line. She could not believe that call.
So we're going to have a, is this a direct kick here for Marchetti?
I believe so. Nope. Once again, we're going to try to see them.
She can thread the needle. Here's a shot. It's on goal. Right in.
Yep.
Saved by the Norton goalie. I'd really like to see a way chase for Ashland to find, Ashland to put a shot on goal. Where they can have a teammate in there to deflect, try and do something to rattle that goalie a little bit.
Yeah.
But here's a ball rolling down the far sideline.
Oh yeah, that's a call too.
This is crazy.
I guess there wasn't a call there. They just said it went out of bounds, even though it was a clear shove.
Oh, that was an elbow.
Yeah, they pushed her right onto the track, too.
Yeah. I mean, if this is hockey, that's a 2-minute minor. Okay, so Maddie's going to boot it away.
Looking for Laughlin. Yep, that was Allie Laughlin.
Here's an opportunity.
Caitlin Merson, sorry, boots it ahead from Maddie English, but it's cut off by a Norton defender.
Here's Julia trying to put a play on here.
Using that sideline as an extra defender, and they can't find any
Forces
headway
the
against
turnover.
her.
Nice play, and
draws the foul.
You guys are losing control of this game.
This is interesting. I mean, it really does look like Norton is, Norton is getting whistles, but they haven't drawn a yellow card yet, and they seem to be getting more and more aggressive with being physical with the Ashland team here. We'll see how this plays out. Here's a ball off of a Norton head and shoulder, and then just booted out of bounds by the Lancers. So it'll be Ashland ball on the near sideline. This will be Robinson.
Yeah.
She'll be looking to connect with Maddie.
Another thing with Norton, they seem to be getting more aggressive, which means that they're getting more calls. And the more calls they get, the more incredulous they get that they're getting those calls.
Yeah, but also, I mean, just getting more and more physical with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to get, you know, to draw a penalty, but, you know, it's getting more physical, and it is starting to get a little bit dangerous out there. Here's a great opportunity. A collision between the goalie and Caitlin Merson.
Caitlin Merson, yep.
No call on the collision, and the ball gets deflected out of bounds. It'll be Norton ball here coming out of the off the goal line here, as we're now under 4 minutes to go in the first half. Norton 1, Clockers nothing.
Yep, that's what you had said you were hoping to happen, that an Ashland player could get in there to maybe put some pressure on, and that's what they did. They got a shot off.
That's what I was looking for,
yeah,
absolutely.
Wide left. Interesting strategy. They did
The give and go?
Give and go with the goalie. I've never seen that before.
Well, they seem to have a lot of confidence in her.
Merson
And here's a
makes it.
turnover for English. A little too hot to handle. And now Norton's going to emerge with it. Here's a long pass. It's going far down the near sideline here for Ashland. Robinson trying to turn with it, and she'll just kick it out of bounds. So Norton now with an opportunity on the near sideline. Eager to get one going, but we're going to get a substitution here for Norton. And that's number 1, Lauren Anderson, running off. Looks like she'll be replaced by number 18, Megan Moniz. Ball gets inbounded a little, I thought prematurely, but no, there's some kind of a call here against Norton. That's a turnover.
Looks like she was offsides.
Okay, so Ashland escapes one here, and now Maddie will kick off from deep in her own end. Okay, a nice pass up. I think they were anticipating a big boot from her. It's to Robinson, to Laughlin quickly, and then out of bounds. So Ashland ball right around midfield. And this will be Alexa Robinson starting things off for the Clockers. So Robinson to Catherine Carter. Carter with the left foot, but can't quite connect there with English. And now the ball gets booted way deep into the Ashland zone. Maddie under control with it. Tries to get it off twice now off of the Norton offensive player.
She's lucky she didn't get a call. She was on the ground. She tried to get up quickly, yeah.
So another tackle out of bounds here.
Alexa Robinson a little slow to get up.
She's a little gimpy too. I hope she's okay. Seems to be walking it off now. So this will be Ashland ball here with under 2 minutes to go in the first half. And this will be Maddie starting things off here for the Clockers.
Looks like they did get that call based on where they're kicking it from, which is good to see.
So Maddie down the near sideline off a Norton face and out of bounds. So Ashland will take over here further up, still in their own zone, but in much better position than where Maddie kicked off from last time. Sorry, Catherine Carter she kicks again here. Misplay by the Norton defense, and now English looking for some help. Passes deeper in, can't quite connect with Brooke Kalaga. Norton emerges with it at midfield. Nice pass right at the 50. And now Norton trying to work it on the far sideline, but it can't quite connect. That ball's kept in bounds and then knocked out of bounds by Kulaga. Is it off of a Norton player?
Looks like it.
Call's going to go Ashland's way.
Yep.
Girls are going to have to hurry here to get one in. We are very late now in the first half, well under 2 minutes to go. So this looks like it's Oglesby and Marchetti.
Yep.
So deep into English. She can't control it, but it's off Katie English. We got a whistle here. I don't know if that was a handball.
It looks like it. Yeah.
Okay. So Clockers with a good opportunity here very late in the first half, trying to tie the game. They're down 1-0 against the Norton Lancers. So here's Maddie getting some instruction on the sideline, ready to put one in. Here's the boot. It's deflected and just out of reach of Emma Arsenal, and that will do it for the first half. So neither team can put one on the board here in the second quarter. Norton, of course, scored in the first. So we go into halftime. Your Clockers down 1-0. Chase, any quick last thoughts before we send it back to the studio?
Well, the first quarter, Ashland clearly dominated, I think, from my unbiased perspective. But this quarter, it seemed pretty evenly matched. Both teams got a decent amount of shots on goal. But, yeah, Ashland's definitely going to have to step it up in the next half if they want to come back.
Okay, so if you're watching us live, we're going to take a 5-minute halftime break. You're watching Ashland Girls Soccer on WACA-TV.
Today's sports coverage on WACA-TV is sponsored in part by Technoplex Flexibles, a globally integrated company focused on developing and manufacturing innovative packaging materials. The Ashland facility produces packaging for medical devices and essential products to help in the battle to treat and eliminate COVID-19.
Technoplex Flexibles Ashland is a proud sponsor of the Ashland boys and girls soccer team, and we look forward to a great 2020 season.
Go Flyers!
A special thank you to Rose's Automotive for their donation of masks and gloves to use during sports productions to keep the WACA crew safe. You can find them at 26 North Main Street in Sherburne, reach them on the phone at 508-650-1628, or find them on the web at rosesautomotive.com. Today's game is brought to you in part by Townhouse. Pizza, roast beef, subs, and more. Make sure to get your fill with the buffalo chicken calzone that's been called one of the best in the area. Located at 300 Elliott Street in Ashland, give them a call at 508-881-3010 or find them on the web at townhousepizzaroastbeef.com.
And the Clockers in their traditional Clocker blue uniforms be going from right to left now across your screen. Their opponents, the Norton Lancers, of course, in all white, be going from left to right across your screen. I'm Josh Abrams, joined again by Chase Abrams. And Chase, what are your highlights so far today for those in our viewing audience who are just joining here for the second half?
Well, the score doesn't really translate how entertaining this game has been. Even with the amount of fouls and the amount of stoppage of play, this has been a back-and-forth game with both teams offensively dominating, I believe. With some good shots on goal, some exciting plays near the goal, and yeah, only 1-0, which surprises me, but plenty of time left in this one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good point. I feel like really Ashland dominated things in the first quarter, only to see Norton score late in that first quarter. The second quarter seemed to be much more balanced, back and forth action between the two teams. We'll see how things play out here in the third quarter, as Norton will start off with the ball. And this will be number 5, Cameron Doyle, a sophomore forward, who will kick things off for the Lancers. Your forwards include Julia Schreiber, Caitlin Merson, Maddie English, and Emma Arsenal to start things off here in the third quarter for the Clockers. Norton again going with some quick short passes here. This is what we saw early to start the game, and then Norton kind of went away from it. But they are moving the ball well here to start off the third quarter. That one is intercepted by Julia and forced out of bounds. So Norton will start here on the far sideline. Marchetti tries to time one out, gets it ahead to English, and now down the far sideline, Emma Arsenal pushing things forward, but a little too aggressively. Couldn't quite control it as it goes out of bounds on the near sideline.
Yep, trying to give herself room to run, curved it a little bit, and it went out of bounds out around the 18.
Here's some good pressure from Katie English, trying to force a turnover.
Ball's tied up. There's a lot of
bodies
together,
there.
Yeah.
Good pressure from Kirsten. But Norton emerges with it, and now the ball gets fed out to the middle of the field and now heading toward the far sideline. Julia trying to slow things down for the Lancers. It's a good feed ahead by the Lancers now. They have an opportunity. Here's a good centering pass, intercepted by Laughlin, and she'll just boot it off to the side where she finds Julia. She's going to go up the far sideline, and we get a whistle. Looks like that one went out of bounds.
Yep, trying to give herself some room to maneuver over on the sideline. Couldn't control it quite, and it goes out of bounds at around the 26-yard line, 27. Norton looking for room on the sideline, denied by Ashland, and they're back to where they started, out of bounds.
Right about the same spot.
Yep.
So just 2 minutes gone by here in the third quarter. Clockers down 1-0 against the Norton Lancers. There's a centering attempt blocked by Marchetti. Norton regains control though, and they're pushing one up the field. It's a pass in. There's an opportunity. Oh, nice block. Nice defensive play there by Maddie.
Yep, looked like Norton was trying to draw the foul there. She was on the ground for a little while, kind of waving her arms, trying to get the ref's attention. But they will not get the call inside the goalie box, and Ashland's going to take over, inbounding at around the 30-yard line.
So here's a long boot down the far sideline. That's Caitlin Merson with the ball, and it goes out of bounds. So turnover here, and Norton will take over in their own zone.
Yep, looking for Julia Schreiber on that far side, but put a little too much air on it, and it went out of bounds.
So again, want to take a quick moment here to thank our sponsors for today's game: Townhouse Pizza and Roast Beef, Healthcare Technologies, Techniplex, and Rose's Automotive. Back to live action here in Ashland. Clockers force a turnover, and here's their first opportunity really of the quarter. As English is flying down the field. She got a shot on goal, kept it on the ground, and Norton goalie is able to make the save. Passes ahead now to her teammates. And it looked like Katie English is going to get called with the penalty there. She got a little too aggressive trying to slow down the Norton offensive rush.
Plenty of space to maneuver for Norton as Ashland sets its defensive front a little bit farther back, but they try to go up ahead, and Ashland takes over. That's Maddie Marchetti trying to gain control of it, and looks like there's going to be a call for Maddie Marchetti, and Ashland will take control of it once more as Oglesby will tap it from Marchetti to have room to maneuver.
Okay, so it looks like Norton is kind of playing a matchup defense here right now. Marchetti will look for an open teammate. She finds her in Catherine Carter. Carter's going to move across to midfield. Again, looking for an opening here. She'll put it down, looking for Maddie English, but unable to connect, and Norton comes out with it. Julie putting some pressure on here, but Norton is pushing the ball up in the far sideline. Intercepted by Robinson. Nice little pass to Julia, looking for Merson. Can't quite find her. And now here's an opportunity for Norton down the far sideline. Gets past Catherine Carter into the corner. She's going to be able to get a shot off momentarily. It looked like it, but ball forced out of bounds by Carter.
It's going to be a corner kick. Or actually, no. It looks like the ref is going to give this one to Ashland.
Yeah, the
It'll
ref
be a
is
goal
pointing
kick.
Ashland way.
Yeah, it looked like where his arm was pointing, it was at the corner, but I was mistaken. All right, here's Maddie Marchetti on the goal kick. Once again, pretty tight man-to-man defense from Norton. Now Catherine Carter boots it up looking for English, and it's a misplay by the Norton defender. English trying to work with it, but there's nothing she can do. She doesn't really have any help from any of her other forwards.
Some good pressure by Maddie, but unable to force the turnover here. And now Norton has the ball in the middle of the field. Nice connection there. Forced even deeper into the zone before Emma is able to boot it out of bounds. So it's going to be a kick in here for the Lancers. So about 14 minutes to go now in the third quarter. Ashland down 1-0 against the Norton Lancers. So the Clocker players closest to the ball right now include Katie English, Kirsten Oglesby, and Emma Arsenal. Ball gets kicked in and then out. We get a corner kick this time, Chase?
Yep.
Okay. Here's a shot on goal. It's loose in front.
Good play, Alexa Robinson, but didn't go far.
Still loose. Got to get it out of there, and they do.
Allie Laughlin clearing it out of that zone. Now Julia Schreiber putting pressure on, trying to make something happen. But it's another shot on goal. Yeah. Good kick, but Kobe Lima was there to make the save.
Yeah, unimpeded. That she had a clear view of that shot the whole way in, able to make the save. And now booting out, trying to connect with Caitlin Merson. Caitlin has it, gets it across the field to Julia. Julia settles, looking for some help, gets it back to Allie Laughlin, and Laughlin is going to bring it across midfield, forcing her way past the defenders. She's still going down the far sideline, looking to center to English. English tries to get a shot on, and it goes wide, short side.
It's a heck of a play by Allie Laughlin. She took that from midfield and brought it all the way down to about the 8-yard line before the centering attempt to English.
Was able to dribble through at least 3 Norton players before making that centering pass to English.
Great play.
So we're about 12 and a half to go now here in the first quarter. Norton's goalie will be booting away here. And of course now I've said booting. Yeah, she'll boot it.
Looking toward the sideline again. Once again, kind of a risky thing to do off of a goal kick, but they've done that a couple times so far today.
Kirsten was looking for Emma. It doesn't quite connect. The ball sails out of bounds, so it'll be Norton ball here. Being inbounded by Brianna Cahoon.
Emma Arsenal pressuring, but I mean, Norton has a 2-on-1 against her. Now they're looking down the field, and she might have an open shot.
That was Caitlin Russell momentarily open, splitting the defense, but unable to connect. Norton still controlling the ball.
A little bit of a shove on Julia Schreiber. Now
there's a shot on goal, and it'll sail wide long side. So Chase, as dominant as we saw Ashland in the first quarter, it seems like it's been slowly ebbing away from them. And Norton, was really balanced in the second quarter. Here in the third quarter, it really seems like now Norton has taken control and is really dictating the pace of play here. The ball's spending a lot more time in the Ashland defensive zone.
Yeah, so in the first quarter, we saw them Norton penetrate the Ashland defensive zone a little bit with some long passes up the field, and it seemed like that was the only way that they could do it. And now it seems like those have kind of switched, and now it seems like Ashland can only really penetrate with those long passes, looking for Maddie. We'll look at that when they look for Maddie English.
Okay, so Norton controlling the ball here with some quick passes, quick short passes. Julie's going to try and make a play here. She's got the ball over to Laughlin, who's going to try and feed Maddie English on the far sideline. Maddie beats one player but can't beat the second one. Norton able to control the ball. Good pressure by English.
Yeah, it looked like on that deep pass to Maddie English, it looked like Norton was using that first defender as kind of like a pick, while that second defender would be, so the second defender would have more time to decide what to do with the ball, and it worked out for him. Norton has the ball.
Okay, so again, some good pressure here by Maddie English. But Norton able to emerge with it. They've got the ball here on the far sideline as they make their way across midfield. Met there by Allie Laughlin. Laughlin able to slow things down a little bit, not able to force the turnover quite. And now Norton has the ball. Centering attempt here. Catherine Carter has it. She gets ridden off the ball. There's a shot on goal. Wide to the short side. So really good opportunity there for Norton.
Yeah, Ashland fans sucking in their breath after that play. Some sloppy defense by Ashland. They should have cleared that out.
Okay, so we're about halfway through the third quarter now with Ashland down 1-0 to the Lancers. And this will be, I believe, Maddie kicking away. It is. Kicking away to the far sideline. Ball gets pushed ahead here, but controlled by Norton. Turned back over to Laughlin. Laughlin looking to make a play here. Far sideline, she's dribbling with it. She's about to be double teamed, gets the ball away off a defender.
And now Anna McGinnis looks like it's gonna be up to her to make a play.
So Norton with the ball, can't quite keep it in bounds. This will be a turnover and one of the few opportunities offensively for the Clockers here in the third quarter. So this will be Robinson and Maddie looking to make a play. Here's Maddie with the pass to English, trying to get it ahead here to Arsenault. Norton able to clear it, not control it. Kirsten is beaten to the ball. Norton is flying, and they've got an opportunity here down the near sideline. but it'll be Catherine Carter to the ball first, and she will just kick it out of bounds and stop the play.
Long strides helped her on that one. She easily won that foot race.
I don't know, it's starting to look like it's going to be more and more open opportunities for Norton here as we progress further and further into the game. I don't know if the shorthandedness for the Clockers today is playing into this, the inexperience of the players who normally would not be on the field at this point. But again, Norton is really taking control of this one.
Yeah, at the start we were talking about how those inexperienced players that you just mentioned were kind of stepping up to help out the team. They're, usually not used to seeing as much field time. And now you can kind of see the inexperience showing out a little bit.
It just really seemed like early in this game, Norton looked not a little, I mean, they looked shaky.
Yeah.
And, at any opportunity, we're back passing to their goalie to make plays. And I'm just not seeing that shakiness anymore from the Lancers as we progress deeper and deeper into this game. So Clocker's going to have to do something here, get that aggressiveness back, start putting some pressure on the Lancers. Here's a ball that goes off a Lancer defender and out of bounds. So Clocker ball here on the near sideline with under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. So it looks like Kirsten and Maddie are going to hook up here on the kick-in. See if we can make something happen.
Here's Maddie Marchetti looking for, I believe that was Merson. Couldn't find her, intercepted by Norton defender, and now.
Good pressure here by Maddie, and there you go. Here's a back pass to the Norton goalie. Doesn't go too far though. Maddie Merson, with an opportunity. And we've got to get I think that one's will go against Merson as she had a high foot trying to kick it and collision with the Norton player.
Yep. Yeah, that whistle, that penalty was darted to keep people from getting kicked in the face. As we almost saw there.
So here's a pass, deflects off Merson. Controlled by Norton. Katie English in the mix there. Ball still loose. Norton has it.
A little bit of a box-out strategy there.
Okay, and Robinson's going to kick it out of bounds on the far sideline, where it'll be Norton ball with about 6.5 to go here in the third quarter. Clockers down 1-0.
Well, the sun came out briefly a little bit, probably for about 30 seconds. We're definitely missing that right now, standing up here in the press box. All right, Norton, plenty of time, not too much pressure from English, and now she pressures and takes it away.
About to be double teamed. Yep, passing back to her sister. And back passing even further now to Marchetti.
Looking for something to do. Allie Laughlin doesn't see the player behind her. Gets it off, but it's taken away. Yep.
Can't get it over midfield, though, and now Norton with an opportunity.
And English is tripped up.
Draws the penalty, so under 6 to go. Ashland ball on a free kick here around the 30-yard line on the football field. And again, it'll be Kirsten and Maddie hooking up here on the kick-in. For lack of a better term. Oh, sorry,
it's a good play.
Natural reaction. Yeah. Just Norton player took one off the head. As you don't want to get in the way of a Maddie Marchetti pass.
Yeah, it's one of those plays that your coach asks you to make, but it's not one that you necessarily like making. And I think she's coming off. The girl that made that play is coming off the field now. That was Cameron Doyle.
Okay, and it looks like Brooke Kulaga and Ellie Braden checking into the game now for the Clockers. But Norton has the ball, the inbound. It's off of Kirsten.
Beats 3 Ashland defenders with 1 pass there now.
It's a shot on goal, but right at Lima. She doesn't handle it cleanly, but nobody there to pressure from Norton, and Lima able to collect the ball. And now she'll boot it from about the 7-yard line. Norton with an aggressive play there, and they control it. It's going to go out of bounds, however, and now it'll be Clocker ball on the far sideline. So this time it'll be Robinson and Carter connecting on the kick-in. So Carter will send it down the far sideline, intercepted by Norton, but on the foot of Anna McGinnis. She finds the pass to Allie Laughlin. She's got an open player. That's Braden on the near sideline. Braden looking to center. She had it momentarily, gets ridden off. The ball's rolling out of bounds, and it'll be Clocker ball deep in the Norton zone.
I wasn't sure who they were going to give the ball to, but it's the Clockers who are getting it, and I'm not sure who's going to be receiving the inbound kick.
Okay, Kirsten to English. That's Maddie English. Working against a couple Norton defenders. She's going to put a shot on goal. It's up and loose. But the Norton goalie comes down with it.
Yep, sure-handed when it matters. It's a great play.
And again, without being able to head the ball in that situation, kind of hard to go up against the goalie and be able to make anything happen. So here's Kirsten trying to corral this high bouncing ball. Back to Marchetti. Can't quite get past the defense. Here's Kirsten with a nice play, getting it out to the middle of the field, but corralled here by Norton. Thought we were going to get a turnover. We do momentarily. Norton controls it again. Here's Katie English. We've got a penalty of some sort. Not sure what the call is here, but it goes Ashland's way. Looks like they're going to start off with the ball right around midfield as we tick down just under 3 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ashland down 1-0 as temperatures continue to plummet here at Ashland High School.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling the effects of that.
Okay, so right at midfield, Maddie puts one in,
Centering
bouncing
attempt.
around loose, cleared out momentarily at least by Norton, and they do regain control, but here's a turnover. Merson to Oglesby. She puts it on net past the defender, but no Ashland player there to be able to take advantage, and the ball goes unimpeded to the Norton goalie.
Yep, she put that pass in right when Maddie English was turning the other way. No one's fault on that play, just bad timing.
Okay, good attempt there by Allie Laughlin, but the ball bounces loosely between the two teams. Just ping-ponging a little bit here right now, but Norton has it. Starting to get it under control now. Some good passing here by the Lancers. Off a player. Maddie tries to clear. It's off to the near sideline, far sideline to make that. Kulaga tries to come out with it, as well as Laughlin. Ball is still loose and out of control. Robinson heading for the far sideline and just lets it go out of bounds. This will be Lancer ball and a quick substitution by the Lancers as Mackenzie Dennett steps off. So with Dennett off, hopefully we'll see a little less of the dramatics from Norton here in the third quarter. We're under 2 minutes to go, time being kept now on the field by the refs. As Norton comes out with it on the far sideline, here's a shot toward the net, and Lima is able to make the stop. She'll jog out toward the 5-10 yard line before she boots away. Looking for Kulaga, couldn't quite get there. Aggressive play there by Maddie.
Looks like she was tripped up, yeah.
She read that play. She read the ball nicely and tried to make an aggressive play on it, but got tripped up by a Norton player and draws the penalty. So again, the clock's gonna have to hurry here a little bit. They're in their own zone right now, well under 2 minutes to go now in the third quarter. There's a long kick by Maddie over midfield. That's Molly Orr. It's the first time I've seen her out on the field, so she must have just checked in recently. Ball goes out of bounds off the clockers, so it'll be Norton ball here. Okay, so Molly and look like Brooke trying to put a double team pressure on. Ball goes out of bounds, turned over. In fact, this will be clocker ball right around midfield.
Looking for Maddie English.
Yeah.
Back to Katie English and loses control of it.
So trying to force an opportunity there. It didn't quite work out. And now Norton's goalie boots it away. See if we get a turnover here quickly. Trying to find Maddie English again there in the middle of the field, but pushed away by Norton, and now they have the ball on the far sideline, intercepted by Laughlin. Laughlin circling, looking for help, and there's the whistle. And that'll do it here in the third quarter. Your Ashland Clockers won. Norton Lancers won. Clockers nothing. As much as I'd like to see the Clockers winning right now, unfortunately, it's just not the case. So we're going to take a quick break here on the field. We'll take a break ourselves. You're watching Ashland High School Girls Soccer on WACA-TV. And welcome back to WACA-TV's continuing coverage of Ashland High School Girls Soccer. This is Josh Abrams, joined again by Chase Abrams. And if you're just joining us, where have you been? You've been missing a great game here so far. Look, you don't have any excuse. The Patriots aren't on right now, okay? The Clockers down 1-0 as we enter fourth quarter action here at Ashland High School. And during the break, we saw Ashland coach Dan Keller really demonstrative with his team as they huddled up on the far sideline. Chase, what kinds of things do you think the coach is saying to his team here in the fourth quarter?
Oh, be more aggressive. I feel like their defensive and offensive aggression has really gone down since that impressive first quarter, and I feel like that's the biggest reason that they haven't played as well.
Got to get their mojo back. So
Yep.
we're going to start things off. The Clockers will start with the ball here in the fourth quarter. And that is Maddie English who will tip things off here for the Clockers. She's joined on the front line by Caitlin Merson, Julia Schreiber, and a couple of others that I can't quite see their numbers.
Yeah, it looks like Ashland's running a 5-forward set right now, which is understandable because, you know, not a super offensive game so far. Only 1-0, and they definitely want to put some more points up on the board.
A nice play by Carter. Get the ball over to Julia. Puts a high ball down the near sideline. We got a header call here against Norton.
It didn't look like it was off her head, but not as good of an angle that the ref had.
So the Clockers will regain possession here with a free kick on the Norton side of the field. And so we're going to see Alexa Robinson and Maddie connect here on the kick-in. Here's a long boot by Maddie, blocked away by a Norton defender. And the ball's quickly pushed over midfield. Norton with the ball. They don't have numbers. And here's Kirsten closing the distance nicely to stop that play, or at least slow it down. Now the ball's fed down the far sideline by Norton. They'll pick it up there. Attempted shot on goal is blocked by Carter and out of bounds. So Norton ball deep in the Ashland zone with just about a minute and a half gone by here in the fourth quarter. It's the penultimate game of the Ashland girls season, their final game of the season here against the Norton Lancers. A win today gets the Ashland girls a 500 record for the season. There's an open net miss by Norton as Colby Lima came out to block a shot by the Lancers. Ball got loose right on the foot of a Lancer player.
Yep.
And she puts one over the net, an empty net, can't connect. Huge break for the Clockers.
Yeah, when I had said be more aggressive, I don't think that was exactly what I had meant.
No, probably not. Here's a ball off the face of a Norton player and controlled by the Lancers on the far sideline. Here's a centering pass.
In the Ashland zone for a while already so far.
Absolutely. So Kirsten looking ahead now to Carter. Can't quite connect, and Norton forces the ball back in deep into the Ashland zone. There's a battle on the far sideline, and Ashland, it'll go against the Clockers. So Norton ball here, another great opportunity for the Lancers. They'll put a shot in on net. This is going to sail high and wide. So Clocker ball here with about 17 and a half to go in the fourth quarter.
Ashland, I don't even think they've had it on the Norton side of the field so far this quarter. I mean, I know we're only about 2.5 minutes in, but they're going to have to really,
turn things
do
around.
better at a lot of things so far.
Okay, so that's Katie English. Ball ended up on her foot and then kicked out of bounds in their defensive zone. So Norton again, an opportunity on the far sideline. They inbound quickly. Intercepted by Carter. Nope, make that Emma. My apologies. And now we're going to have a penalty called against the Lancers. So Ashland ball on the far sideline. That's Kirsten to Maddie. Maddie kicks it across.
Fields.
That's a dangerous centering pass. And we get a whistle. It's against Norton. A little too aggressive in the offensive zone for Norton. It'll be a free kick for Ashland. So Carter and Maddie. Maddie will boot it away in the center of the field, but it'll be stopped there by Norton.
Yep, misplayed by one Norton defender, but taken up by another.
So Norton flying now in the middle of the field, trying to feed something down the far sideline. They've got an opportunity. They beat the foot race. There's a shot in.
Good
nice
idea.
Save by Colby.
Way to step it up. Way to step up by Kobe Lima.
Okay, so Colby boots it away, middle of the field, trying to find English. Ball's turned over here and controlled by Norton. Got a nice series of short passes. Julie breaks that one up. trying to get the ref to call it her way, but it falls on deaf ears. It'll be Norton's ball on the near sideline now. About 4.5 minutes gone by in the fourth quarter. Ashland down 1-0. Centering pass here by Norton. They're doing a nice job of controlling things and really dictating pace of play here in the fourth quarter.
Errant pass, yeah.
Just a little too far for Julia to control, and it'll be a Norton kick-in here on the near sideline. Centering pass through several defenders. Here's an open shot, high opportunity, and that's a goal. Colby Limma can't quite stop that one. It goes off her fingertips and in.
Even the Norton goalie is running to the other side of the field to celebrate.
Yeah, she did that last time too. So
yeah.
It's make that 2-0 now for Norton. Tough break there for the Clockers, as the clock is going to start working against them now. They're down 2-0. They got 2 now to make up for, with about 14.5 to go in the game.
Yeah, clock working against the Clockers. How ironic. And not in a good way.
No. So Ashland pushes the ball deep into the Lancer end. Lancer goalie has it, boots it away, forced back in by the Clockers.
Pressure by Maddie Marchetti, but they still get it off, and now they've got some short passes to make in the middle of the field. Over the head of Allie Laughlin, now going to the right side, down the far sideline.
I feel like they've got something they can take advantage of on that far sideline. They keep going down that corner.
It's working.
Now Ashland making a series of short passes, but intercepted here by Norton, and they're going to control the ball over midfield. Here's a player looking for an opening. Nice pass as the Ashland defense keeps collapsing deeper and deeper into its own zone. Here's a shot in from the far sideline, and it goes wide short side. So Clocker
Another
ball.
shot on goal.
Yep, Clocker ball, 13.5 to go in the game.
Yes.
Lancers making a couple of substitutions. It looks like Clockers might be Brooke Kulaga ready to check in, as she'll have to come in on the next stoppage.
Yep. 6.5 minutes into this quarter, we've really only seen Ashland penetrate the Norton zone once, and that was on a long pass in which no Ashland players really had any possession of the ball. And once again, Norton is in the Ashland zone. Wow, that's a lot of contact. I'm interested to see what the call is going to be here. Looks like it's going to be for Norton. Oh, it's against Norton. It's for Ashland, and they'll have a kick from inside their own goalie box.
Okay, ball goes out of bounds. It'll stay Ashland ball. Under 13 to go now in the fourth quarter. Ashland down 2-0. Just take a moment one more time to thank our sponsors today: Townhouse Pizza and Roast Beef, Healthcare Technologies, Techniplex, and Rose's Automotive. We ask that you patronize our sponsors. We appreciate all their help in making today's game possible.
Looking for the lead pass, and it's out of bounds again. Good idea, but couldn't execute it.
And of course, just a reminder for folks tuning in late, if you were expecting to see 60 minutes, you're on the wrong channel. That's over at CBS. We're here at WACA-TV. Those of you joining us, we're glad to have you with us. You're much appreciated and missed here in Ashland. We've got our 40 spectator COVID sellout here this afternoon.
We're
glad
to
have you with you on TV.
Ashland penetration here. Oh, it's a missed pass, and now Norton's going to take it back over right on the near sideline here. And some more contact, and it's going to go Norton's way.
Yeah, Caitlin Merson doing everything she could to keep that one in the Norton end, but a little too late, and gets the body instead of the ball. She'll get the penalty there, and so it'll be Norton with a free kick at about their own 20-yard line on the football field. We're ticking down to about 11.5 to go now in the game. Clockers down 2-0. Norton with control right around midfield. Some good pressure by Laughlin and by English. They're not able to force the turnover completely here. Now Merson, she gets tripped up, and she'll get the call. So good opportunity here for the Clockers. Got to take advantage here. Got to capitalize. It's getting to be late to make up 2 goals with 11 minutes to go here in the game. So Kirsten will tip things off here for Maddie. Maddie puts a ground ball into the middle of the field and intercepted by the Lancers. Brooke has it momentarily, but thwarted by Norton, and now another opportunity, and she They're going to call offsides on Alexa Robinson. Tough break there because she had the defender beat there, but just a little too much.
Yep.
And it was right in front of the ref. We're going to miss that one.
Yep.
So a little surprised to see Robinson up. I feel like we've been seeing her mostly playing defense in the games that we've called.
Yeah, we saw Brooke Kulaga go in to play defense when Julia Schreiber came off, and now we're seeing Alexa Robinson play on an offensive part of the field.
She was trying to get a pass over to Merson, and now finally the ball works its way out to her. Now they're going to work it. They've got Emma flying down the far sideline. Here's a left
Centering
foot.
attempt.
Robinson, whoa, too hard.
It's a field goal.
Yep.
Good attempt,
One of their best opportunities of the game so far. She had an open shot, left foot, but too hard and sails high over the net.
Yeah, we saw Maddie, I'm not sure how many of you caught this, but we saw Maddie English instinctively go for a head ball. Just didn't have quite enough height, and we're actually pretty thankful for once that she wasn't able to get that one.
So about 9.5 to go now with the Clockers down 2-0 to the Lancers. Okay, a goalie kicks away to the near sideline. Merson aggressive with it, and this one's going to go sailing into the stands and out of bounds. So Clocker ball here in the Norton zone. And this will be Brooke looking to inbound here.
They got to use a new ball now that that one was in the stands and Brooke was touching with her hands. Oh, hey, that rhymes.
Stands and hands?
Yep.
Wow, you're doing it all today English-wise there.
Yep.
Chase, first alliteration and now rhyming. Very impressive.
Thanks.
Okay, ball's put on net and then kicked out of harm's way for Norton. Norton doing a nice job of controlling the ball. They're flying across midfield now. Missed pass by the Lancers. Got to slow things down, and now going to just kick one deep from midfield.
Slowed it down and then sped it right back up.
So a lot of physical play here. The ball's bouncing between the two teams. It's on the near side, far sideline now. Controlled now here by the Clockers, and here's Laughlin flying across midfield. She's got an opening, feeding it ahead to English. English trying to get it to Robinson, but pass is deflected away. Two players collide.
And that's going to be Ashland's ball.
Yep, out of bounds. Another good opportunity here on the near sideline for the Clockers. Under 8 minutes to go in the game, and Brooke Kulaga will inbound here for the Clockers.
Into Catherine Carter here.
Carter puts one on net. Trying to find English.
One for the head ball again.
Yeah. Ball's trickling over the goal line. Let's see which they're going to call a corner.
It is a corner.
For Ashland. So clearly the Norton players thought that was going to be out of bounds on the Clockers. Refs didn't see it that way, and so now a corner kick opportunity for the Clockers.
It's a little interesting. It seems like the ref waited until they were going to kick it to the goalie to say that it was a corner kick. And
got another penalty here. It's a free kick here for Maddie English. So Clockers are going to try and set something up here right around the goal box. Looking to get their first goal of the game here late. Here's the shot by English. It's off. It's bouncing around in front. It's still loose.
Can't really see what's going on, but it does go the
Maddie
wrong way.
with a left-footed shot, blocked off to the sideline, and sorry, over the goal line. We got a corner
kick on the opposite side.
Yep. Looks like I thought English might take this one. She'll be involved in it, and it looks like Maddie and Marchetti and English. Clockers again looking for their first goal of the game, looking to cut that lead in half. Here's Maddie to Maddie. Centering attempt. Ball's loose. Maddie Marchetti.
They got to get a shot off.
Okay.
And
she was way offside. I don't think she realized it. Tough break for the Clockers. Ball's going to get turned over here to Norton with approaching 6 minutes to go now in the game. Clockers down 2-0. Bringing the ball all the way out to the 5-yard line on the football field. The goalie will kick it away toward the middle of the field, off a couple of arms.
Should get a shot off here. It's an open goal.
Passing ahead to English, deflected. Here's Robinson with a shot.
Oh,
it's still loose.
There's an Ashland player down the goal.
Down in the net and caught up in the net. She thinks she's okay, just slow to get up. The play is still alive here, though, on the far sideline. Now Norton with a play. And it was one of the English sisters who was caught up in the net, slowly making her way back upfield. Here's an opportunity, though, for Norton. Just end-to-end action here late in the game between the Clockers and the Lancers.
They got to put more pressure on if they're going to want to score before the time runs out. They're not putting any pressure on.
Okay, Kirsten trying to get it out. Turn right back over to the Lancers. Lancers are happy to just ball handle here a little bit, try and eat some clock. We're about 5 minutes to go in the game. And you're right, Chase. Ashland definitely needs to get some more pressure on the other team, and there's a trip. Okay, so penalty against Norton. Really unforced. I'm not sure why Norton's playing the way they are, but they do have a 2-goal lead. And they block yet another attempt by the Clockers. Here's a ball rolling deep into the zone, and they're going to just pass. Oh, I thought they were going to pass back to the goalie.
Yeah. Ashland had a 2-on-1 there. I think that they went with the smart play there, kicking it out of bounds.
And it looked like Norton tried to draw a penalty, but couldn't convince the refs. And now Brooke will inbound here for the Clockers. Under 4.5 to go. Pass to English. English with a shot. Centering pass to Robinson. Robinson back to Kulaga. She'll put a shot on net, but this one's going to sail wide to the short side and out of bounds. The Clockers are getting some opportunities here, Chase. They're getting some shots on net, but they just can't connect.
It looks like it's almost a full team substitution for the Lancers now.
I'm wondering if their players are getting a little winded there, and so the coach looked to get some fresh legs out there for the final 4 minutes or so of the game that we've got left.
I think it also might be an opportunity to give some players who don't normally play as much some playing time, as they do have a pretty commanding lead with about 3:45 left in the game.
Okay, so Norton goalie will boot away here, looking to the far sideline. Controlled momentarily by Kirsten, but the ball rolls out of bounds off of Norton. So this is a Clocker opportunity, inbounding on the far sideline as Marchetti runs in off a Norton defender, and now the ball's loose on the far sideline. Allie Laughlin trying to get it out of the way, but it's controlled now by Norton. They're flying down midfield. It gets past Catherine Carter. It's a foot race. Norton with a shot on goal, and it goes in, but I think we had a whistle.
I believe she was, she was offsides.
I just was surprised. Colby Lima did not react at all.
Yeah, neither did Catherine Carter slowed down, and I was like,
I never heard the whistle, Chase, but must have been on the field. Yep. So here's still 2-0 for the Lancers. Here's an opportunity for the Clockers. A quick boot down the far sideline, trying to find Arsenal. She has it, looking for some help. She's under heavy pressure. Centering attempt. Nice pass there to Merson. Can't
Merson
connect,
draws
but we get
another
the penalty.
foul.
That looks like a direct kick.
Yeah.
Okay. So Clockers really need to connect here. They really need to put one in. This looks like it'll be Merson who'll be taking the shot for the Clockers. Oh, now they're going to switch it up, and that's Maddie English. A lot of bodies around that goal box right now. Here's the shot, but it sails high and wide, out of bounds. Maddie English can't believe it. Hands on head as she walks away from that one. 2 minutes to go now. Clock is being kept on the field. Time is running short for the Clockers as the Norton goalie kicks away for the Lancers. Controlled by Robinson. Passing to English, can't connect. Here's Laughlin trying to find an opening. Deflected by the Norton defense. Pushes all the way back over midfield, and now here's a break for the Lancers. It's a foot race. Carter able to get that one out of harm's way, but it's rolling deep into the Ashland zone. Kept in by Brooke. Turned over on the far sideline, and here's another opportunity for the Lancers. Ball's in on net. Colby Lima makes the easy save. We're running out of time here. Let's see how they play it. Lima kicks it ahead.
Merson controls it nicely, but misses.
Yeah. Centering pass here by Norton. Oglesby tries to get a foot on it, can't. Ball's loose, middle of the field.
Bouncing
Carter.
Around a lot. I can't really see what's going on right now.
A lot of bodies in the middle of the field, and the ball just ping-ponging around as it trickles down to the far sideline, kept in by Kirsten. She had English open for a moment, but now the double team turns it over for Norton. They have it on the far sideline and deep into the Ashland zone. Kirsten with the ball now, kicking ahead. Bad turnover. Here's a shot on goal blocked by Ashland. And that ball's going to sail out of bounds. So Norton ball on the far sideline. Probably about a minute or so to go here, Chase. Norton inbounds. Good pressure here by Carter. Norton ball handling nicely. Quick short passes. Now it's on the far sideline. That's going to be a centering pass with a shot fanned. Here's another shot. Just over the head of a Norton offensive player. It goes out of bounds.
She was offsides. That
okay.
Yeah. Attempted pass towards that left side of the goal. Unsuccessful and out of bounds and offsides.
Okay, so Maddie here will try to make something happen from the goal box. Make that Colby Lima to Marchetti. She dribbles up, boots it in the middle of the field, past the defender. So here goes Allie Laughlin flying across midfield. Pass blocked by Norton, and they control the ball at midfield. And there's your game, there's your whistle. That's a final as the Clockers end the season at 3-5-2. A disappointing finish to the season for the girls, who made some great strides this season, but wrap up their last 3 games with 2 ties and now here a loss today to the Norton Lancers. So Chase, any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
I don't think so, no. It's a little bit of a disappointing loss.
He's not the best color man in the business for nothing, folks. For Chase Abrams, I'm Josh Abrams saying thanks so much for watching WACA-TV, Ashland High School Girls Soccer. We'll see you next year. Thanks, everybody.
Today's sports coverage on WACA-TV is sponsored in part by Technoplex Flexibles, a globally integrated company focused on developing and manufacturing innovative packaging materials. The Ashland facility produces packaging for medical devices and essential products to help in the battle to treat and eliminate COVID-19.
Technoplex Flexibles Ashland is a proud sponsor of the Ashland boys and girls soccer team, and we look forward to a great 2020 season.
Go Clockers!
A special thank you to Rose's Automotive for their donation of masks and gloves to use during sports productions to keep the WACA crew safe. You can find them at 26 North Main Street in Sherburne, reach them on the phone at 508-650-1628, or find them on the web at rosesautomotive.com. Today's game is brought to you in part by Townhouse. Pizza, roast beef, subs, and more. Make sure to get your fill with the buffalo chicken calzone that's been called one of the best in the area. Located at 300 Elliott Street in Ashland, give them a call at 508-881-3010 or find them on the web at townhousepizzaroastbeef.com.